Welcome back, people. It is episode 13 of season 5 of the Taxi Squad podcast. We got a fair amount to get into today. Featured guest of Mike's squeaky chair because it's another road game. And then we got, once again, fair amount to get into. We got some strange and unusual topics that we did, in fact, miss last week that we must get into. Before we do anything, of course, subscribe no matter the platform you are on. We have a fair amount of bracket talk to get into today as to how destroyed they currently are and how we did so far. We also have some MLB talk ahead of us as the season starts this week. So happy opening day. And then not only that, are the Bulls back? And then mock draft talk for the NFL. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad, yeah.
Vince.
Oh my God.
Mike Squeaky Chair's with us. How you doing?
I'm good. That is bad, dude. Yeah, New York's horrible. Not treating you well. You're on the East Coast
Long
right now.
Island. It's Long Island.
Is it even that long in comparison to other islands?
Just driving here is anxiety. So
what is the longest island?
I don't know. Not a clue.
Greenland.
Not Epstein's. Greenland.
Technically an island.
No kidding. What about Nantucket? That's technically an island, isn't it?
Way shorter than Greenland.
Oh, yeah, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about U.S.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. I mean, Ireland's an island, technically, if you think about it.
Vince, in advance, and to our listeners, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm so sorry for the lighting. I look like it's quite dark in here.
If you suffer from epileptic seizures, you might want to listen to this one because Mike's going absolutely haywire over there.
I am stroby then strobed. So either way, I mean, hey, we're happy to be back as always. We got a fair amount to get into. I've had a day of travel, Vincent. I have been in now 3 separate time zones. So Mountain, Central,
Gross.
And now East. So this is my third time zone today. So not ideal, but hey, we do what we can.
Wait, did you land in Central?
No, I flew over it. So
I was in 3 yesterday. I was in 4 yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean, it's different when you're going on vacation as opposed to going to work.
Right. I was in 4 time zones yesterday. Boo-hoo, miss. Boo-hoo. I went Pacific, Mountain, Central. 3. All right, 3. Still though, boo.
You got that? Yeah, that's what I thought. No, either way, man, it's good. Hey, got here to do professional Mike things. Got to wear a suit tomorrow. Going to be looking snazzy. It's going to be great. What more can you say? But hey, no matter what, we get it done. Vince,
back.
we egregiously missed the most strange and unusual topic of sports last week.
I don't know if it was the most strange.
I mean, in a while.
This is just a college kid being a college kid, man.
I get it, but it was wonderful. Mitch Voigt, I love this kid.
Why?
Because I just thought the celebration was quite creative.
It was funny.
And not only that, I mean, who pulls that out of their bag of tricks?
It has to be something that they make jokes about, and then he's like, I'm just going to do it in the heat of the moment. And then he's like, oh. For people that don't know, Mitch Voigt, what did he hit, a triple? Or did he make it to third?
He hit a triple.
He runs to third base, and he proceeds to use the white line on the third base line as a line of, for lack of a better term, cocaine, even though it's not. It's baseball chalk.
Fun powder.
And he snorts the chalk, making it a drug use reference. And to which he goes onto his Instagram and posts a Notes app apology, which are some of my favorite. I'd like to apologize for my actions on third base yesterday. I made an immature decision in the heat of the moment. The gesture I made does not reflect my character, the household I was raised in, or the block M that I represent of any kind of way. Sorry. Take full responsibility of what I did, and I am truly sorry to all those who I have negatively impacted by doing this. Yeah, his mom yelled at him, and then the university yelled at him. I'm pretty sure that's how that went.
Yeah, who yelled at him first, I guess, is the real question. His mother or the university? I'm
Well,
assuming your mother.
It was probably the coach, like, right after.
Yeah.
And then he like called his mom, and she's like, "What are you thinking, Luke? We didn't raise you to do that." And he was like, "I was just hyped up, and I was just trying to get that nice third base line in me, you know." He's hitting .451 with 5 homers and 28 RBIs on the season. 3 for 3 that game with a walk. 3 runs, 4 RBIs against USC. Big Ten Player of the Week. Rock some coke, my guy. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, you can't be mad at his performance.
Good.
He rocked it. You know, it's like in a way he can kind of get away. Not saying it's right or wrong or indifferent, but he can kind of get away with doing it.
Back in my days, back in the 1970s, dude, you could have just done that shit. No one would even said anything. That's my problem.
Well,
these kids these days, okay?
Kids these days don't understand.
Okay.
Back in the 70s and 80s, you could smoke cigarettes in the fucking dugout.
You
were an elite
and
athlete.
pitch a no-hitter.
That did actually happen. That is real facts.
That's factual.
That is real facts. What was his name again? Pitch for the Pirates. Oh, that's
I thought it was like Doc Gooden.
I think you're right. I think
but that would have been the Mets.
Just type up LSD pitcher. He pitched for the Pirates. I know this. There's Mike.
I thought it was the Mets. Doc Ellis. That's where it got me. Doc Ellis did it.
You were close with the Doc.
On the Pirates.
Yep. There's a whole 30 for 30 on it. And he said like the ball was talking to him and shit. And like,
yeah, honestly,
unheard of.
Assessments of LSD. Yeah, they go crazy on this. He did give up like 15 walks in that game or something like that too, though.
Hey, a no-hitter's a no-hitter.
It was not a perfect game. That's a fact.
No, but he said it's a perfect game. But then again, it is also a no-hitter.
100%.
Because those first 15 walks were probably in the first like 3 to 4 innings.
Yeah, and then once the ball starts saying, "Throw me in the strike zone," he's like, "Yes, sir, Mr. Ball. I might as well."
He's like, "Yes, sir, Mr. Ball. Let me get right on
Mr. Barry Gordy."
Definitely, yes, sir, Mr. Barry Gordy. With the Temptations now throw a strike. But before we do anything else, if you haven't yet, follow, like it, subscribe
please.
Share it to a friend. Share it to somebody you love.
Throw a comment. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us where we're right, dude.
Tell us we're dumb. Air it out.
If you really want to talk to us, 312-725-2107. Leave a message about anything you desire to talk to us about. It doesn't even need to be about sports. If you're like, hey, like Mike's hairstyle, 10 out of 10. How do I get it? He'll explain it all to you. And then I will because I'm the one that told him how to do it.
Mike's hair is bananas today. What doesn't
I
matter?
like it.
So it's day of travel. What's a guy going to do?
You look fine, sweetheart. You look fine.
Thanks, boo. Yes, but always like, follow, and subscribe. Now, before we move to anything else, Vince, these brackets are very fickle things.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
These brackets are very, very fickle things.
So I'll a little bit of a story time here. So I was in Cabo San Lucas this weekend. Soaking up the sun in my yearly Caribbean / beautiful weather Mexico trip that I take. They don't have American ESPN or SportsCenter or any American channels out there. I couldn't access most of the games live, and most of the time I was freaking out. I would get out of the pool and be like, how do I get this? Like, how do I access it? HBO Max had a couple, and then it's like, wait, you're on a Mexican Wi-Fi, so we can't access this anymore. It was pretty annoying, pretty brutal. But what I could do was follow up after and check how our bracket was doing. Not great. Not horrible, but not great.
Yeah, Vince, it's not good. We did pretty good in the first round. We were looking like clean, minus some pretty like egregious ones. I mean,
Yale was bad.
Yale's bad. Utah State also bad. I wanted McNeese for the record. Vince lit me up about that one, but hey,
dude, how about McNeese was that? They got smoked, dude. Utah State got smoked more than just about anybody, but yeah, what are you gonna
Can't hate on McNeese, my guy. But what we did predict, pretty much entirely correct, was a lot of this East Conference, which Duke and Baylor wound up playing, so Duke continues to win. Arizona continues to win, beats Oregon. I mean, basically, Vince said it best last week. If you just went to all the big boys, you're looking pretty clean right now.
Yeah, this is a chalk tournament so far. So we're recording this on Tuesday, and luckily none of these games happen until Thursday, so we will be timely. But really, what are we looking at right now? In the South, you got a 1 versus 5 and a 6 versus 2. You got a 1 versus 4 and a 6 versus 2 in the East. And then going down, you got a 1 versus 4 in the West and a 3 versus 10. 10 being the biggest Cinderella we got left. And then the other side, 1 and 4 and 3 and 2. So it's like there's nothing. Usually you get like a Cinderella. Usually you get like an Oakland with an out-of-pocket shooter, something crazy. This year's the year of the chalk, man. And I kind of like it. I only say I like it because that means these next couple games should be very competitive. Should be.
Is it all because of the NIL? Because every radio show you hear about nationally is like, NIL.
Hey, I gotta tell you about the NIL. No,
NIL is to blame.
Why
for
would it
every problem?
Well, yeah, because they're looking for something to blame. Why is this a bad thing? Why is this a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just, yeah, and we're easy to fall folly to this too, but like, yeah, people also don't really watch college basketball all year until you get close to the tournament. And they're like, oh, woe is me. It's like, these guys don't know how to shoot, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, you didn't watch them in January. Started watching them at the end of February.
Needless to say, it is kind of one of those situations where of course, they're not as good as the pros.
Yeah.
They're not expected to be as good as the pros.
That's kind of the beauty of it.
So that's kind of why it makes it so much more fun. Right?
And yeah, and it's like
that's truly where I'm at with this whole thing.
Duke is so good.
And hey, how about Cooper Flagg coming back?
I know. I told you he didn't tear his ACL. I knew that. There's no way. But they won their first game by what? 34 points. They won their second game by 23 points. Like Arizona, obviously the biggest battle, but like you thought Baylor would be a decent game. Wasn't even close at all. They got this 5'8" guy that comes in every time they win a game that they put in for garbage time. And it's like, look at our small fella. He's going to come in. That means the game is basically
you gotta love the fact that they're like, hey, look at our version of the Taxi Squad's version of Pip.
Yeah.
Look at Pip.
Yeah, throw him in there, make him feel good about himself. It's like once he comes in, you're like, damn, this sucks. But what we can talk about is some of the closer games, some of the more exciting games, and surprising games, because we lost our victor in round 2.
St. John's, man. I thought
they felt good. They felt like they had defense. They felt right. Mistakes. Like they go in, you get a classic Pitino versus Calipari matchup, Louisville versus Kentucky matchup, Kentucky versus Memphis matchup, something that you'd want to see. And Arkansas was playing pretty well. You gotta fucking give it to them. Like,
hey, these grease balls know something about basketball. Usually we're good at baseball, but you have a vowel and a last name. You're from the Northeast. Boom, basketball.
100%. I mean, it's worked out for Pitino everywhere he's went. But not no mo when Calipari comes in. Now, there is an opportunity here where you could have a Kentucky versus Arkansas matchup at some point, and I'm kind of rooting for it. I know it would bust our bracket more, but like Calipari versus his old team, mano y mano, like what do we do? That would be kind of fun.
Well, now the bracket, Vince, I mean, to your point, it's kind of just out the window.
It's already cooked anyway. Like I'm just rooting for
I hate to say it. Right now, I'm just like rooting for basketball and good games. Yeah. Like now that we see this, like Arkansas is about to go play Texas Tech, which I will be rooting for.
They're a squad.
Tech is very good. And then you got Maryland, Florida. I mean, there are some opportunities here. Now,
Maryland was so excited to give that game to Colorado State. They were so excited to let that happen.
They were, but Vince, we actually do have a path where our pick for the our pick for the final could still make it in Tennessee because Tennessee is still looking lively.
They look good. Kentucky's good too, though, bro. I thought U of I would have more fight too. Like Kentucky's kind of playing the way that they haven't played as much in the beginning of the year, and as the year went on, they kind of started getting it together a little bit. Now, Tennessee doesn't have Dalton Knecht, though. Dalton Knecht was the truth last year. He was like the actual big school shooter. That was a horrible way to say that, but a shooter on a big school.
That is the worst possible way you could have fucking said that.
Power 5 shooting.
In the climate of America, Vince, big school shooter guy. Big school shooter guy.
Power 5 shooting guard / forward that we were looking for.
Is.
Outside of the Oakland guy last year, Jack Golke. But anything's possible. It's the tournament. That's why they call it March 100%. Madness. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's March and there is in fact madness. Now, my question is there any games going on in the Northeast right now? Because Clemson's out of it, right? Or is Clemson still in the dance here?
Well, they all play in neutral sites now, I think. I'm pretty sure. But I know what you're saying, like Northeastern teams. I mean, Auburn, Michigan, no. Duke, Arizona, no. Ole Miss, Michigan State, no. BYU, Alabama, no. Houston, Purdue, no. Florida, Maryland, no. Texas Tech, Arkansas, no. Yeah. This is the South versus the Midwest. This is just South versus Midwest all over the place.
Which is insane to me that there's not like one team basically from the Northeast that has remained.
You want to know why? It's because the Big East had a bad year, and I told you the Big East was going to have a bad year, and it happened that way, and all of them are out. I mean, we could talk about UConn.
Well, I mean, with the what's that head coach's name again?
Dan Hurley.
Say it again.
Dan Hurley.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, but that's why they were good. He's like the hard-headed, like freak out at everybody type coach that like you kind of love but you kind of hate. When he wins, you love it, and when he loses, he's an asshole. You know, I like that.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
If you're gonna be like I'm gonna talk shit to everybody, and we're gonna win everything, and it's gonna be awesome, and everybody glorified him for like 2 years. He's gonna go down being the same asshole that he went up being.
You make valid sense. I understand it. I understand it entirely.
He is a dick for sure.
He's a complete and utter cock.
But keep doing it. It's working. He's fine.
Yeah, it is. It is working. There's no doubt about it. It is in fact working. Granted, they didn't make it, past who they play, Florida?
Florida, yeah, lost by 2.
Yeah, and that game was incredibly close, and he wants to blame the refs. I just thought it was a sore loser move, and then he goes out there and says, we played hard, we don't complain. It's like, well, you're kind of whining.
His team doesn't,
kind of
but
whining.
He does. Yeah, he definitely is the complainer of the group.
Isn't there a statistic that they spent more money this year on NIL than any other program?
Probably. They're not spending it on football.
That's insane. The fact that they get bounced in the second round like that. Granted, they played some heavy competition.
You can't blame it on NIL if, you spend all the money on NIL and it doesn't work out. Now, granted, they just won the last 2. So, no, they're going to lose one. It's fine. Come back next year and be fine. They're a squad. They're going to be totally fine. It's just their athletic director came out, said some stuff, and then one of their staffers apologized for them and all that shit. It's just not good looks in UConn right now. But whatever. They're out, man. No longer concerned with Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies.
I was just about to say, Vince, let's get to some picks, shall we? Okay. We got the Sweet 16. Let's get to some picks. We got Auburn and Michigan squaring off on Friday. How we feeling about this? What's running through your mind?
Listen, I didn't think that Texas A&M was good. That's why we picked Yale. But Michigan beat them handedly. But Auburn's maybe they're 1-2 flip-flop with Duke in the country. And I'm not picking against Auburn. It's probably going to be a close game, but I can't see Auburn losing right now. They're men on a mission right now. Who, Bruce Pearl? They got Bruce Pearl. Yeah, he's like a well-oiled team there.
Well-oiled machine. I like the way you're thinking. I think Auburn's been a squad all year, and I agree with that. They've really kind of come out of come out of the woodwork as a real contender in the SEC this year, and you look at them right now over a Big Ten Michigan team who is sound.
They're good
defensively well, but I don't think they can go through 2 in a row of really good SEC opponents. So give me Auburn as well. Okay.
Give me death.
Let's jump to Duke, Arizona. Another great game.
Duke's just going to win every game. They're going to win every game, Mike.
I don't know. I mean, granted, you have the most talented player in the country, so it's difficult to pick against them. But in our bracket, we have Arizona over Duke, Vince.
I know, but no. Because even without Cooper Flag, they're just smoking. I know Mount St. Mary is a 16 seed, but they walked into the gym and beat them within the first 3 minutes. The game was over before it started. And the Baylor game was closer than it even looked, and they still beat them by 23.
Did we get an opportunity to watch the Oregon-Arizona game? Because it was truly outstanding.
Yeah, it was very good. Oregon's a good team too, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for a minute there, it looked like Oregon was coming, and Arizona just put them away.
You know who's a lot better than Oregon?
Who's that?
Duke. They're a lot better than Oregon.
Fair. Just throwing it out there, just seeing what sticks. But, all right, so you're going to go Duke. Mike's to go in Arizona. Okay. Because I'm an Arizona boy now.
You got your pride. Yeah.
Got a rep. So let's go U of A.
Yep.
All right, let's jump down now. We have Ole Miss and Michigan State.
This is
another SEC matchup against a
Big Ten
Michigan team. Here we go.
This is a little harder because Ole Miss is unconscious right now. They're scoring at a wild clip. Iowa State couldn't do shit to them. But Izzo likes defense. They played New Mexico. New Mexico beat Marquette. Marquette was a joke anyway. I could go either way, but I'm probably going to take Izzo in this case, so I'll probably take Michigan State.
I was about to say, I think it's now his 24th straight playoff game.
Yeah.
Or playoff series.
Yeah, Sweet 16.
It's pretty impressive.
Like but he usually gets knocked out in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. So at some point it's going to happen. Well, but I just can't see it happening right now.
We're your Cinderella, so not saying that that's the case. God, this chair is so bad.
Oh, Mike just ripped ass.
Let's go Michigan State. I'm going Michigan State on this one. You concur? Or you going Ole Miss?
No, I'm with you. Go Michigan State.
All right, let's go. All right, Mormons in Bama. Another game where I'm like, wow, the Mormons look really good. Granted, they snuck a game out against Wisconsin by 3 points.
Fastest team in the country, I think BYU is.
They're playing.
They don't play defense though.
Well, Bama doesn't necessarily. I mean, granted, they stuck St. Mary's at 66 points.
Bama's fast. Bama's fast, though.
They're both fast. That's what makes the lore of this game so interesting to me.
Team can keep up with them. Probably better defense on the Bama side. Maybe throw one of those defensive tackles in there to take some minutes.
Let's go.
I'm going to take Bama. I don't want to take all favorites, but it's the favorites are playing well in this tournament.
Give me the Mormons, man. I'm not picking against them twice. They look really good.
They're good. They're fast. It's just
all right.
Wisconsin was up and down. Wisconsin was playing decent coming into the tournament. Barely beat them. I could see it going either way, but I'm going to take Bama.
All right, give me BYU for the lure here. All right, let's jump down to a little bit of South to Midwest competition here.
Yep.
Even though this is actually the one Northeast team that is still left, which is Maryland. So we got Maryland, Florida. Maryland comeback win against Colorado State. Final seconds, absolutely electric.
That was fun until they lose on Thursday. So Florida, easy.
Yeah, I think Florida's too good right now. Florida looks like some of those Joakim Noah based OJ Mayo teams that were OJ Mayo didn't play on that team.
No, that was I keep getting Bradley Beal in my head, but he wasn't playing on those teams. They had Booker. What's his name? Jesus, Cory Booker.
That's right.
Cory Booker.
Joakim Noah was legit though, and then he got drafted by the Bulls, and we all know how that worked.
He almost won an MVP.
Almost.
Yeah,
almost couldn't shoot to save his life, but boy was it pretty in the paint. All right. Number 1 ranked Houston against 4th ranked Purdue. So we have 2 rankings here, 1 and 4. Another 1 and 4. What are you looking at here? I mean, Houston, another squad. Purdue, back at it again.
I know.
Potential repeat.
High Point McNeese. Shout out Clemson for losing. Fuck you. I love McNeese, but I was sad that happened. This
McNeese
is another
was
situation
the underdog we all
where
needed.
Houston got knocked in the round of 32 last year, or did they lose first round?
Yeah. They got
something
knocked
like that.
in round 32.
They came in
round.
hot, and then they lost early. And there's a lot of motivation for them to not do that again. They're more talented than Purdue. We took Houston to go to the Elite Eight. I'm going to stick to that pick. I'm going to take Houston.
Oh.
We took them for a reason.
Yeah, you got a point. And I hate to pick against Purdue, but I don't feel like they got the horses this year to last another round.
You need a Zach Edey, man.
They don't have a Zach Edey. And we said that in the first round, but kind of they've been smooth sailing with some lower seeds.
They proved that they didn't need them. Yeah.
High Point, and McNeese.
Yeah.
Now you play a real opponent.
Biggest competition,
Houston.
Yeah,
give me Houston.
Shaking
I'm
in
with
your boots
that.
when
I
High
agree.
Point
I
walks
wanted
into
to
the
pick
gym.
against you. I wanted to pick against you. I cannot. All right. 2 more, and then we're out. So we got 3 ranked Texas Tech and a 10th ranked Arkansas, but the Arkansas has an Italian. So the Arkansas has an Italian, Vince.
You know what they say about Arkansas? Breeding ground for Italians. That's where all the Italians live in Arkansas. Dude, this is hard for me. I really want a 10 seed to get into the Elite Eight. And I would think it was for the storyline. I don't think they're going to win, but they did beat St. John's. They were ahead in that game by 8 to 10 the entire time. I know it ended up being a 9-point game, but it's St. John's was never really close at any point. I think if they get to a lead, they can keep a lead. I'm going to take Arkansas. I like them in the Elite Eight. Keep it running, Calipari.
I also like Arkansas. Why?
Okay.
Italians in the southern Midwest portion. I love it, buddy.
I love it.
All right. I love it. John Calipari out there in his fucking Ferragamo shoes. What do you want to do with it? Okay. Now, the predecessor of Calipari, Kentucky. So Kentucky and Tennessee square off in a epic matchup for the southern Midwest states, I like to call them. What's your prediction?
I want Kentucky to play Calipari. I know we took Tennessee to go there. I know it would break our bracket. I want Tennessee to, but it would be so fun for Kentucky to play Calipari. So give me them.
I just don't think Tennessee can lose. They're really, really good.
Yeah.
And I know they're playing really good competition, but I'm
Wolford, UCLA.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm about Tennessee right now. They've been great all year, and this is a real deal opponent, and I feel like people are going to be dogging them.
U of I totally disappointed me, dude. That was so sad.
Yeah, U of I does that. They appear, and then either they're going to go and do it all or not at all.
I wanted them to be good, man.
Yeah, so did I, brother. Well, all right. Well, those are the picks. We are going to continue to track this as we get into the Elite Eight week after week, and call in and tell us we're stupid because we want to hear about it. So let's do it.
We'll get another episode in by April 3rd. So that'll be right before the Final Four.
Perfect.
So we'll be good for the Final Four then.
We should know if our Elite Eight was prediction heavy or not.
If it was good at all.
We'll see if we cut it in half, but hey.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm rolling with the Mormons. I think that's the biggest takeaway you could bring out here.
No, I think Duke's going to win everything.
Well, let's just say it. No, I'm not saying – I'm just saying BYU in the Sweet 16 to go to the Elite Eight. After that, it's fair game. Okay. Vince, baseball. Baseball starts this week. And
I don't know if you've heard about the Crown. Have we talked about the Crown?
Crown?
Yeah, there's a new tournament. So you know how they have the NIT and they have all those different tournaments for teams that don't make it?
Yeah, what's the Crown?
Don't go
What's
on
my
their
squeaky
app.
chair
Don't go
doing?
on their. Hold on. Don't go on their website because there's a video that auto plays that we're just yelling in my ears. Okay, so the Crown happens in Las Vegas, and it's a tournament for teams, kind of like the NIT, where they take a bunch of teams and they put it on TV and they just make a huge thing of it. So right now,
Huge spectacle.
Arizona State, Boise State. You have Butler Bulldogs, Cincinnati, Colorado, DePaul, Georgetown, GW, whatever the hell that is, Nebraska, Oregon State, Tulane, UCF, USC, Utah, Villanova, and Washington State are playing in it in
So
Vegas.
just like all of the former Pac-12 teams are trying
It's
to
literally just Pac-12 and Big
Big
East.
12.
They were
Yeah.
like, we're gonna take all of these like big Power 5 teams and say, fuck you, NIT. We're taking all these teams and making it a little bit more fun.
Vegas,
Now,
baby.
Let
Gambling.
me read you MGM Grand, Fox Sports 1, T-Mobile, Fox, the main channel, all advertising with this. They have Ghost Energy on it. They're literally, this is just cash cow. They're just like, well, how do we do this in a way that's not the tournament, but it close enough is? I'm kind of excited for this. Obviously, DePaul's playing in it, so I'm excited for that.
When
but they're gonna
is
suck
this
anyway.
occurring? Is this going on as we speak, or does
March
this start after?
31st. So that's Monday, Wednesday,
Okay.
the
Smart.
Saturday after, and then Sunday, April 6th. I think that's the day before the national championship is when this.
Are they inviting
one
other
peters
teams
out.
to join?
Not after. If you're in the here, I'll just show it. If you're in the tournament, then you're not in it. So like this is the way that it looks right now. And I'll zoom in a bit so you guys can see. And I don't think that worked. That's about as close as I can get. But like
Interesting.
first round matchups, you know, there's a chance that you and I can go at it come Saturday, April 5th. That's all I'm saying. Because we got
Hey.
DePaul and USC can be playing on Saturday, April 5th.
Hey, I don't necessarily like have to go at it per se. I mean, yes,
No,
you
just for
have a little bit
fun.
more pride.
For
You have a little
fun.
bit more pride. I didn't go to school there. I wish I would have.
I know,
didn't
but
go
that's
to
your
school.
team, man.
Yeah, it is technically. Yes,
I don't think School of Hard Knocks has a team playing this year.
School of Hard Knocks is not. It would be a pretty sick team, though. It would be a sick team. It would be it would
Bring back
it
the
truly
plumbers,
would.
yeah.
Bring back all the plumbers. I'm in.
But it could be fun.
Right.
It should be cool. It's at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. They're going to make a whole thing of it. I'm sure none of these students are going to get in trouble at all in Vegas for a week and a half. So it'll be fine.
No way.
It'll be
No way.
good, dude. We're fine.
No
dude.
way, cuzzy. No way.
But hey, if you
No
could put
way.
DePaul back on the map, by all means.
Hey, I'm all about putting DePaul back on the map. I think
Yeah.
they're trending in the coming years to be better.
They're trending
And I
upward
feel like-
for the first time in
Give them
20
some
years?
archdiocese money to throw towards the NIL. You might see something a little different coming soon.
first time since Quentin Richardson. Like, yeah, Wilson Chandler. Last time they were
Wilson
good.
Chandler, 2K King. You would purposely go trade for Wilson Chandler.
Yeah,
he was so good.
he is a DePaul Blue Demon. Don't you dare forget it. So
Don't you
Mark
dare forget it.
Mark Aguirre in the early '80s.
Who's the guy who plays on the Cleveland Cavs now?
Max Strus, King.
Max Strus. Strus is the DePaul King we love to talk about. But
Yes,
Vince,
sir.
enough about basketball, okay?
I mean, it is the biggest thing going on right now. But I know what you're
I
saying.
understand, but baseball's starting.
Hooray!
I went to my last spring training
Yay,
game.
dude.
Went to my last spring training game last weekend and saw a guy get hit in the head with a foul ball. Absolutely
You
electric.
have bad luck with that. You're seeing dudes just getting smoked left and right. Benintendi
I
going
don't
down.
know. Benintendi, dude, it
He's
was
back.
he is back and he looks
Yeah.
okay. A fly ball pop up and it was like a can of corn. And if you're paying attention, you can see the pop up flying into the row that I was in.
Didn't we talk
And
about
just
this?
No, this just happened last Friday.
Oh, I thought this
And,
was on Wednesday.
Gentlemen, not paying any attention, just looking straight dead on at the game, not paying any attention as to what's happening in the game, gets hit in the head with the foul ball. Like,
Yeah, add
Boom.
nets to the outfield. You know what? You got to net the whole thing.
well, it went over it all. right? I mean, so they
There's
can't
no
protect
nets
you.
in the outfield anyway, though. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's just you got to pay attention.
A little
Kai's
bit.
like, Kai goes, I mean, God, I can't believe that happened. I said, I can. You got to pay attention to the game. If you were paying attention to the game, that wouldn't have fucking happened.
Big strong man throws ball. Big strong man hits ball. Ball goes big strong man speed. That's how that works.
Well, it wasn't even hit hard. It was like a big pop fly. It's still got,
yeah.
I mean, just gravity.
Well,
right?
it's
gonna hurt a little.
as Sir Isaac Newton told us, ball goes up, ball comes down. That happens.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And Vince and I also discovered that the Orioles are pretty good last week, and the Orioles might have a shot.
I don't know how we
AL
forgot
East.
about them. I listened back to that, and I was like,
Vince
we are
is like,
so
wait a minute.
stupid.
The fucking Orioles, Mike. I'm
It's
like,
good.
Yeah, Orioles.
We need that because, like, we say it in our theme song. Actually, Randy Newman says it in our theme song.
Randy Newman does say it.
I swear that wasn't me singing, guys.
We totally called Randy and we were like, hey, Randy, like, can you
We talk
do
about
this for
sports
us,
and
please?
stupid stuff. The stupid stuff is us forgetting about half the shit that we even think about on a day-to-day basis. And that's why you guys listen to us. Come on now.
Absolutely. That is exactly the reason why you listen to us, to stop thinking about fucking normal life.
Facts.
Because normal life is a bear.
It's
no
stupid.
pun intended.
Stop.
Now, opening day starts this week. Vince, are you going
Facts.
to opening day?
No.
Why?
Why would I?
Vince, because you're a White Sox fan, man.
Who's
it's
the
supposed
starting
to be a
pitcher?
Beautiful day on Thursday. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, what am I going
They announced it, but I don't know who the fuck
You know
it
what?
is.
I'm actually not doing anything on Thursday. Maybe I'll just wander over there. If I could get a cheap ticket, I might do it.
You'll be able to get a cheap ticket, Vince. It's the White Sox.
I know, but it's opening day. It's, we'll see what happens.
You know what's so pathetic about this year's spring training?
That we're fans of them? Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, no. I went to more Cubs spring training games than I did White Sox, and I'm like, kind of feel sad about it.
That's what happens when you fall in love with the Cubs fan, Mike.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. Yeah, we went to 3 of those. And I was actually a split bill. I went to 6 total this year.
Nice.
Split bill. So I got three Cubs and wife, and then 3 with just the Sox because they're horrible. And I don't know what more to say. By the way, don't go to the Guardians or the Reds facility.
Are they shared?
Cool facility. Yeah, they share also. The food is fucking just deplorable.
Really?
Food rating 0.2 out of 10.
Well, yeah, I usually
Horrible.
go to Cincinnati for the food anyway, so they're probably.
Oh, what do they promote? Cincinnati for food. Skyline hot dog. I was like morbidly curious.
No, the chili's the fucked up thing.
It's disgusting.
Have you seen how they serve the chili?
With like cinnamon in it?
Dude, okay, so this is how they serve Skyline chili. So they have the canned chili, right? So they make the chili, there's cinnamon in it, and they put it on a bed of spaghetti.
Cinnamon in it. Ew.
They put spaghetti down, they pour it on a bed of spaghetti, and then put a bunch of shredded cheese, and they don't melt it. You just kind of go in there and just slop up all that. It's a sloppy Joe, but somehow sloppier.
It's disgusting. I don't know how people do this. I don't want to do this. No offense to the city of Cincinnati.
Sure.
I'm sure you guys have a good time and stuff, but I'm not eating your food.
Every place deserves their regional food, but you're not required to like it. Like, people hate on deep dish. It's like, we don't really eat deep dish all the time. No. I know everybody's not eating Skyline chili all the time either, but like, come on.
No shot. If
What
you
are we
eat
doing?
Skyline chili all the time, you're a complete asshole. And that is like
they
real
live in
fact.
Ohio though, so come on. Now.
Yeah, then again, Ohio. It's like, who the fuck are these guys? But
Couldn't be
Vince,
me.
what
No
we
offense,
may
though.
want to talk about right now, spring training's coming to an end. Today's the official last day. The
Shout out
Cubs
Joey
are sticking
Gallo.
around. Yeah. Joey Gallo's going to become a pitcher, allegedly.
Yep, he's off the Sox, and now he's a pitcher.
Allegedly. And then the White Sox, although they might actually have to take him up on that whole pitching thing, considering they have 6 starting pitchers
Yeah, man.
in the entire organization who all have to get season-ending Tommy John surgery. And I can't even name them all.
Prelander Baroa, Kai Bush, Juan Carrella, Blake Larson, and most recently, Drew Thorpe.
Dear God.
Bad.
What are we doing? Do they just go ahead, just go throw cold and see what happens?
Probably.
Like,
I mean, they instituted stretching last year, so.
Wow. Yeah, and then they want to know like why all your players have soft tissue injuries, and we can't
Who would
figure it out.
think? Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. It's like we don't have much expectations. And Mason Adams, by the way, is the sixth that is in limbo, but he probably is going to need it. Yeah, man. It's like they're going to be really bad. They don't really know what they're going to do with their middle infield or their outfield. And now they don't have 6 different Tommy John guys. So, like, basically what we don't have is a bullpen or middle infield or an outfield or maybe a coaching staff. But
Anything, really.
Venable seems cool, but they all just seem stressed because they don't know what the hell to do because the team is so ass. So all you can really root for is like sell sooner than you think they will.
Vince,
what I'm
you want to
hoping
know? You want to know what they can look forward to?
What? Milkshakes.
We would like to announce on the Taxi Squad podcast there is now a new milkshake,
Yeah.
and we are not making this up.
Yeah.
Not one iota. This is
100%.
real. The White
Gotta
Sox
sell
are coming
something.
out with a new celebration milkshake, which is made with birthday cake batter,
Yeah.
sprinkles, and meant to celebrate what? I don't know, the demise of our baseball team for the next 20 years, maybe. Go sell it to this
Yeah.
Arizona guy. Just go sell it. Just get rid of him. Just Jerry.
He's not
done.
even an Arizona guy. Like they bought an Arizona team, but they are Chicago area guys.
Go. Please go buy us. What do we have to do? What do we have to do on this podcast to make it real? We will.
Commit a crime. Have you? That's what we have to do. We have to kill Jerry Reinsdorf. Not gonna do it.
Commit a crime. Commit a crime.
Yeah. Have you ever had like how they make birthday cake flavored stuff?
Yeah, like Cold Stone, like birthday
Yeah.
cake remix. And
Yeah, but like that doesn't taste like birthday cake.
I mean, nothing really tastes like birthday cake, but birthday cake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like everything that's flavored like birthday cake is a distinct flavor. It does taste like birthday cake flavor, but it doesn't taste like birthday cake. That's like making chocolate syrup and it tastes like cherry juice. You're like, what is going on?
I mean, it's like the essence of birthday cake, but I don't feel like you could actually get to the pure bones of the said cake of the birthday
Right.
unless the cake is baked in an oven.
Yeah, baked cake, birthdays.
Baked cake, hence for birthdays, birthday
like,
cake.
Every time I have birthday cake
Boom.
ice cream, I'm like, this is yummy. Doesn't taste anything like birthday cake,
Oh.
but pretty good.
I am such a slut for ice cream, Vince. I can't even tell you.
I think
like if there's one
everybody
crush,
is, Mike. I think everybody is.
see, everybody's not necessarily there, right? Because
I
some
love
people
ice cream.
I've met some,
I love ice cream. It's bad.
dude. If there's one thing I am a complete and absolute dirty whore for, it is ice cream. Okay, so you could put it in for. I could be stuffed to the gills if you're just like, hey, you want a milkshake? I'm like,
yeah. You know what? I do have milkshake room in there. I mean,
I do have a little bit of room for
we've
the
talked
milkshake.
about this with like my brother is probably 160 pounds now, somewhere around there, 155, 160.
Oh, okay.
He can eat like a gallon. You know this. He can eat like a gallon of ice cream.
Yeah.
And be like,
a pound.
Totally fine. But that's where I got it from. Like kids just like, hey, it's Tuesday at 6 p.m. You want to go get some ice cream? You know, maybe it's a little bit of a, burn cruise or whatever you want to call it. But hey, we're going to get some ice cream.
Hey, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, ice cream overall is just such a delightful thing.
Jerry agrees.
Jerry so much so agrees that he said the baseball team's horrible. And they were like, Jerry, what are we going to do to make them better? And you know what he said to all of you?
What about ice cream?
About ice cream?
Everything is bad. What always makes you feel better, Jerry?
We need an analytics department, okay? We are so far behind the rest of the MLB with building analytics into our game plans.
Yeah.
Instructor of our ball club. He said, shh, shh, shh.
Dairy Queen on Tuesdays.
Milkshakes. What you're missing, Christopher. He looks at Christopher. He calls Christopher gets Christopher, by the way. He looks at me and goes, Christopher, you're missing it all. Milkshakes. Milkshakes and fan pass.
Well, yeah,
that's what we're going to do.
If your kid has a bad like football practice or he hurts himself
What do you
or
do?
he like
What
is
do you
really
do?
hoping for something and he doesn't get it. What do you
What
do?
do you do?
You go to
Go
Dairy
get some
Queen
ice cream.
or you go to Cold Stone Creamery.
Get
You
him
get
a
some ice
little
cream.
ice cream.
So what happens when your team is the worst team to ever exist ever? How about some ice cream?
Ice cream. How about some ice cream? Hey, and you want to know what? You can't watch them on TV right now.
No,
Because there's no fucking way to watch them on TV right now. I don't
Yep.
know if anybody's
unless you
done
have an
homework into
HD
it,
antenna or whatever.
but the saga continues.
Yeah.
Once again, if you would like to watch White Sox baseball this season, or the Chicago Bulls,
Yeah, I
or
was
the
gonna say,
Chicago Blackhawks,
You know when that started? Was at the beginning of the fucking NBA NHL season. We're like 3 months left. And it's over.
yeah, there's 3 months left, and then it's over, and then baseball's starting. It's insane. So
Yeah.
what you have to do, circa 1992, is go to your local either hardware store or local
Yeah, Circuit City or Radio
electronics store.
Shack.
Hey, go find your local Radio Shack and go buy a fucking antenna. And then you have to set up this antenna to your modern day television.
It's
Where the
insane.
fuck you're going to put it, I don't know. Everything's meant to be hidden with these
Yep.
things, right? They're flat against the wall. It's like, oh yeah, here's my donkey dick antenna on
Yep.
top of my brand new, 2 millimeter.
Yeah, what's that coming out of your
HDTV?
TV? It's like, I'm trying to watch baseball, you see?
Right?
I'm trying to watch the big guys hit the bat.
I'm trying
and
to
a
watch
home
the big
run.
guy swing the bat, hit a
Wanna
home
see
run,
Pee-wee
get
hit
a
a home run
milkshake.
today, kids now.
Yeah.
Get a milkshake.
Yeah, you see, man, shucks, I wish I could be there. I wish I could be there, but I can't today, so I had to go buy
I wish
my
I could be in the
antenna.
big stadium watching the boys play ball.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, put my pants way up here. You see,
You gotta
you
tuck
see
it
that
in
way
your
they don't
trousers.
fall
It's game-
down.
It's game day
When
on
I
the south
jump up
side.
for new milkshakes, when I jump up for new milkshakes, then my pants only go down to my waist. Yeah,
2 milkshakes over here, Parker. Please, thank you.
2 milkshakes over here. Laurie Garcia, bring him back. He's one of our favorites.
Oh yeah, I
He
remember
can still
him. Is
play
he on a
today.
team?
I have no idea.
I gotta see.
Hope you
He's
guys
the only.
Hope you guys enjoyed 1920 talk for a good
Yeah.
5 minutes.
He is a free agent, Larry Garcia, right now.
Of course he is. The White Sox will probably bring him back for depth. All right, let's talk about the other Jerry-owned team. And then I feel like football talk is just like I'm not there yet. Like I want to like I feel like every week we talk about the same thing. It's just like, well, mock draft 17.2 came out.
Hey, let's see where we're at. Let's get to it because you got some news to talk about too. So we'll get there.
All right,
let's
Vince,
talk about some basketball.
Are the Bulls good? Back to basketball.
You'll never guess where they are in the standings.
Oh God, they're 8th, aren't they?
They're 9th. You want to know where they were 2 months ago?
9th.
They were 10th. You want to know where they were like 3 and 4 months ago? 9th.
12. 9th.
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
They were 9th,
nothing-
10th, and 9th all fucking year.
Okay. So we shouldn't get
trade
too
away-
excited is what you're
We
telling
trade
us.
away Levine. We get rid of everybody. They're just always, this is fun to watch. They're obviously not going to be able to tank to where they want to because the 76ers decided to be bad this year. That was our only hope. I'm kind of cool with this. I'm fine with it. What are you going to do? The difference between getting the 10th pick in the draft and the 15th at this point is not that big of a deal. It's nominal difference. They're going to be in the play-in again. But I think we have a backcourt, and that kind of rocks. Kind of rocks.
Giddey looks good.
He's so good.
Kobe White looks good.
I remember-
this Puzelis kid. Isn't it Montas?
Matas Buzelis. Yes, sir.
Buzelis.
Hinsdale.
He looks like he's just a freak athlete. I just wish they would have played him all sooner.
I know. That's a Billy Donovan issue. We really need to get rid of him so quickly. Buzelis said to Billy Donovan, though, he's like, I want more minutes. Put me in crunch time. I'm trying to be the best to ever play straight up. Give me the opportunity to get there. So I like that. There's some push on there. You got the old guys out. You got rid of Levine. You got rid of DeRozan. You got rid of all the guys that you needed to. Kobe White has been on an absolute fucking tear. They played the Kings. They beat the Kings. It's like you get rid of your two best players and the team is still better than the Kings somehow. Kobe White, 30 points per game in the last 8 games, 4.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 51% shooting, 39.1 from 3. So he's essentially 2 points off of 50, 40, 90 for the last 8 games. And then TS percentage, I forgot. I don't even know what that means, 64%, but 0.72 above league average. So he's been balling. Josh Giddey, triple-doubles machine, 20 in the last 11 games, 22.3, 10.5 rebounds, 9.1 assists, almost 2 steals a game, 53% field goal percentage, 52 from 3, which is high, and 84 from free throw. If you can have that, you get a couple big guys, you're talking like a 5th or 6th in the East, which is cooler than being like, all right, let's just tank it all.
Well, to your point, Vooch out after this year. He's gone. Not like you're going to bring him back.
Got to get rid of him.
Giddey is a restricted free agent, I believe.
We're going to re-sign him.
So you re-sign him.
Yeah.
And now you figure out your big guy.
Matas plays 3 and you get a power forward and a center.
Go get some beaters and some bangers.
Yeah.
And whether that's in free agency or in the draft, I don't know. I'm assuming we're not going to be in the lottery, but we will potentially be in that 5th to 11 slot. Hope?
I think we'll be like 10 to 15, somewhere around there.
Okay. And I mean, hey,
Buzelis
is I will say their past 2 drafts, not bad. And I know this front office may be like the worst we've seen since like Phil Emery era Bears.
But Gar and Pax were pretty bad at the end there. They were pretty bad at the end.
Pax wasn't as bad as Gar.
Them together was
I don't think you could say Pax was Pax at least kind of had a fucking clue how to identify talent.
Yeah.
Gar was just like,
yeah.
Bring in Taj Gibson again.
Hey, Taj Gibson's still playing basketball.
Is he really? Where?
He's still playing basketball. He's in Minnesota right now.
That's insane.
He's good. Taj Gibson was good. I don't know why Taj Gibson's catching strays from you right now. What are you doing to him?
It's like Udonis Haslem. It's like these guys who have just played forever. Dude, Taj was a great 6-man, but that was it.
Yeah.
But that was it.
He started in those Bulls teams. He was pretty good.
You know what's insane to me? Once again, Jimmy Butler. Always go back to Jimmy Butler.
I know you're so.
You could have kept Jimmy forever, and he would have probably been great. And you built the team around him.
He would have complained and asked for a trade.
Wow.
You're obsessed with the idea that he would have been a lifelong Bull. There's no fucking way. He gets upset everywhere he goes. Do you think he would have been happy in Chicago if he hated Miami? Like, what are we doing? Come on.
Well, it's Chicago. You kind of you do it in the shadow that Jordan built, and you try and bring it back.
Yeah, I don't think he was ready for that. I think he wanted to get his money and run. And we don't pay guys, so.
No, that's true. Yeah, as Jerry always says, we'll pay you now, but after that, it's up to you. You can either wait for the deal or you get it paid now. That's what he told Scotty. That's what he told Scotty. And I mean, hey, Scotty wanted to get paid. But
he eventually did.
This is what the Bulls always do, though. Year after year after year, they get hot late because they start playing their great guys more minutes, and they're like, "Wow, you actually may have some talent here." And I just hope it continues. Get rid of Billy Donovan. Bring in a new young head coach that might be able to grow him. Maybe like a Spoelstra tree guy, and see what we can do.
Yeah, there's just the opportunity. If you're looking at the best teams in the league, like you got the younger guys. Those older coaches aren't a thing. And also Billy Donovan, never been a good NBA coach. He was coaching OKC
great at Florida.
After they were good.
Great at Florida.
Good at Florida, yeah.
That's really kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of the majority of NBA coaches. You're either a really great college coach or a really great NBA coach.
That doesn't transfer well.
You
usually go
both.
You go with assistant coaching to NBA coaching. Like Brad Stevens kind of breaks the mold, but most of the time it doesn't happen.
Well, Brad Stevens is a GM now.
Yeah.
So
the
Celtics just sold for however many $6 billion, which is truly
what a payday. And you're like, wow.
Listen,
Jerry,
if the Celtics could sell, fuck Jerry, do it. I digress. Well, Vince, listen, we're about a month out of the draft, right? What, it's the 3 weeks?
NFL, you're saying?
Yeah, NFL draft.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting now because
Do
there's
we
like a
want to go
lot.
full mock? Like, do we want to go
No,
full mock
not
talk
full
this
mock,
week?
but I just want to talk about some things I've seen through the grapevine. We can
What
go
are some
full.
trends you're hearing right now?
Right now, I'm seeing. It's interesting. So the Giants signed Russell Wilson to a 1 year today.
Yeah, just saw that today.
The Giants also signed Jameis
Also-
Winston. So Russell Wilson's clearly backing up Jameis, right?
No.
He
I
should.
don't think that.
They fucking
I
should.
don't know how that's going to work if you do draft like Shador. How does this work?
I don't think they're going to draft Shador.
How don't you?
There's no reasonable why would they need 3 quarterbacks?
Once again, I don't
Like that.
understand.
I think it means they're drafting Travis Hunter. That's what I think it is.
What you need a young quarterback to build around, unless you're going to go like.
But Brian
second
Daboll feels like
round.
he's going to get canned this year. So this is hey, let me prove it one more time. Because Daboll goes, the GM goes at the same time. And they're both trying to save their jobs. So they're both signing guys to do well this year. We know this playbook.
I see your thought process. Oh, do we ever know the
We know
playbook?
this playbook. Yeah.
That's gotta mean, I don't know. Then if Shador drops, although I want more quarterbacks to be taken early, because that means the odds of a Mason Graham or a Will Campbell are still on the board for the Bears at 10, which is really what I'm hoping for. The Bears are reported Ben Johnson and new defensive coordinator Dennis. What's his name? Dennis Allen were spotted in Ann Arbor for Mason Graham's pro day.
Yeah.
Is there a world where we trade up to get him?
No,
I don't think
There's
so.
a world where we stay and we get him if he's dropped, or we trade down. That's kind of what I see. I'm seeing mock drafts got Shador at 7 now to the Jets.
Well, why would you draft him to the Jets when you have Fields?
Because
Fields didn't take 2 years, $40 million to go and sit and try and be someone's backup or groom somebody.
Who else is giving Justin Fields $40 million?
The Jets.
Yeah, that's why he took $40 million. Duh. Because then you get Shador sitting for a year, and then he comes in the next year and plays.
I think Shador is such a crybaby that he's going to want to play right away.
Yeah, but shut up, right? You could say that if you draft him at 7 to 10, he's not a number 1 overall pick.
But then
He's already ruined his shit anyway doing that.
Another guy you got to look at is maybe a guy like Pete decides, you know what? Hey, I'm sitting here at 6. I could get the quarterback of the future. And then I'm also reading Ashton Genty to the Raiders.
I know. That's what I was just going to say.
And then I'm also reading 10 Ashton Genty to the Bears. And I'm like, God,
I know. I think those rumors are slowing down a little bit now, which is good because we really don't need that. We really, really don't need that.
Well, in Palisero's latest mock draft, I saw Tyler Warren. I'm like, what are we doing? What?
Yeah, they really want him to draft it. Yeah,
they really want them to draft an offensive piece, and I don't know if the Bears as an organization are going to them and going like, "Hey, go put this out in the ether."
Probably, they're probably going to draft something safer. I'm seeing that Missouri tackle dude, Armand Membu. Been seeing him a lot, but that's
the
also
Missouri tackle.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit. Yeah. Like I said, everybody just hear Mike's chair. I think he's a late riser due to his athletic ability as an offensive lineman and his sheer size.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I'm seeing it. But I'm also seeing a lot of he's going to fall. The pick's going to trade down.
Okay. Here's a better question. If you had to pick any player in this year's draft that's not a quarterback that could fall, who would it be and why?
Oh, interesting. I know definitely who's not gonna, and that is Abdul Carter.
Right.
You got to assume,
Not a quarterback. It could be any position other than
Well, what do you
quarterback.
consider like an Ashton Genty fall? Because people have a mocked top 10 right now.
I don't think Genty goes in the top 10.
I don't think he does either, but like that's
I don't think.
reasonable.
I think him and Omarion Hampton are by far the two closest prospects I've seen coming out playing running back in a long time.
Yeah.
They're once again,
be
you
like
draft
might be
productive running backs in the second, third, and fourth.
Well, and also like Travion Henderson, and you got both those Ohio State
Caleb
guys.
Johnson. There's so much talent here.
Yeah, it's thick.
It is thick.
I don't know.
So back to the point, like who could fall? Who's rated like one of those top 5 guys right now in the positional
I
bracket?
feel like it's probably Mason Graham because he doesn't play. He's not an edge rusher, and he's not a quarterback, and he's not an offensive tackle.
Not saying that he's not an elite presence and athlete.
He's okay.
So you're saying Mason Graham. Not saying that
he's an interior lineman.
Correct. But this year's draft is packed full of them. So to your point, I see where that could fall and potentially work out for the Bears. It would be great. Either him or Will Campbell. Give me a big glass eater.
Big guy on either side, yeah.
Or I have a theory. And it's not saying he's not probably the most talented prospect coming out in the draft in a long time. I have a feeling Travis Hunter is going to fall.
Oh.
And with that,
what does that mean? You're like
why.
7?
No, I have a feeling there may be a world here where he falls out of the top 10.
No way.
And
No
and
shot.
the only reason I say that is because I feel like GMs talk themselves out of him because they don't know what to do with him. Unless a head coach just absolutely falls in love and said, I need that guy. But he's difficult to place. He's a Swiss
Not
Army
really.
knife.
He's a corner.
He's a sick receiver.
I know, but he's a corner.
Bailed Shador out of more shit than he could probably care to say.
I saw somebody say that the Giants should get Travis Hunter because then he could play wide receiver to Jameis's good throws and play cornerback to Jameis's bad throws. So all the interceptions would turn into
honestly,
completions.
that's not a terrible thought process. I would say, though, that I could see a world where Travis Hunter potentially falls. And that might be crazy, but I could see a GM talking themselves out of more of a need.
You can't knock
like
him
an
down
offensive
for being able to play 2 positions. Like the thing
I'm
is
not knocking him down.
I'm saying like as a GM, like he's an elite cornerback.
He's an elite athlete, period.
Yeah, but like cornerback, like he's still like top 2, top 3 cornerbacks in this draft. If not one, if he's only playing that side of the ball. And you can still play him at gadget. You can play him in the slot. Like you can put him in so many places. Like I can't see him moving out of the top 10. And if he does and the Bears have a chance to get him at 10, they draft him.
Can you imagine him in that secondary? Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Dude, I know. Brisker, Jalen Johnson, him.
Brisker, I feel like
2.
you gotta start looking at potentially what you're gonna do to replace him because if those concussions persist.
You know, there's a guy coming out of Notre Dame that's pretty damn good at safety. That might be a 2nd, 3rd round pick by the name of Xavier Watts. And he's pretty fucking good at football, dude.
If Vince can relive his Madden glory and the Bears take Xavier Watts in the 2nd round,
him.
he may just go like just absolutely all over himself with that thought process.
Dude,
He'd be like, my Madden prophecy is true. I need to be a GM now.
No. But week 1 of college football, I was like, dude, Xavier Watts is so good. He's going to be so good. Because they lost Benji Morrison real early, and then the secondary was still lights out because he was leading it. He's so good. And he cut his dreads, which makes me sad, but, you know, it is what it is.
Hey, you can't always cut the dreads. But we should probably we got a month left before the draft, right? Because the first round's 24th. So what I'm hoping we have the opportunity to do is maybe we'll do our own little mock draft. I may have some news come down the pike where Mike might be sitting next to Vince sooner rather than he thinks.
Okay.
And maybe we do our own little fun little in-house mock of our top 10.
That'd be fun.
We're not going to do like what we did, the first 2 years and be like all 32 because then we'll be here for an entire episode.
And we'll be so wrong. After the second pick.
Wrong. My only claim to fame on this podcast is I'm in Ross St. Brown, and I will die on that hill. All right.
Well, you had Aiden Hutchinson going it earlier too. You ended up getting that down.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson, absolute dog. Darnell Wright
What-
could have never fathomed that.
No. What about Rodgers, bud? He's a Steeler, right? Has to be.
Aaron Rodgers has to be a Steeler.
They're not changing their
Now
offer,
that
though.
Russ is off the market, Aaron Rodgers needs to be a Steeler. I just think he's waiting for them to give him a commitment saying that, hey, I'm your starting quarterback. You're not going to look at drafting,
who
anybody.
clearly, there's no option now.
Well, a lot of mocks, back to the mock thought process
Jackson
that I
Dart?
am reading. A lot of people are saying Jackson Dart at 20.
Not going to start out of college, regardless.
Rodgers wants to cement his legacy and go to a staple franchise.
For how many years? He's 41.
I could see him doing 2, but he's still an egomaniac and wants to believe that he's still like a young pup.
Yeah, no,
but
you can't do
the speed
that.
isn't there anymore. The arm strength isn't there anymore. He shows flashes of it. But
Hey, the
it's-
Bucks drafted Kyle Trask, and Brady still went there, so go do that.
Yeah, and hey, how's Kyle Trask doing?
I remember,
don't even
dude,
know.
him coming out, people were like, dude, I don't know, Kyle Trask, like, he might be good.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
Yeah, I
remember
feel
that?
like it's
There was a
there's
lot of
always
talk.
that.
Yeah.
There's always that. There's people they talk themselves into it. If you go back and read any of Mel Kiper's stuff, once again, Jamarcus Russell,
Idiot.
number 1. Not necessarily an idiot. He hits on some, but boy, oh boy, it's like when he thought
Fucking
Trent
clock's right
Dilfer,
twice a day.
right.
That's just a
Anyways,
fact.
we will have the whole mock, and I'd like to do like a full mock sode as we get closer and the tournament ends, because then we get really into it,
Yeah.
right? And we can really do a little bit more deep diving
Certainly.
as opposed to just kind of some of the stuff that we're
Speculation?
looking into. Right.
Yeah.
I want some real data as we get closer and some more news. But I love it. I love it. As everybody listens to this, we thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And continue to subscribe. Continue to share with your friends. Continue to share with your family if they're looking for a chuckle. If you got a niece or nephew, it is the year of the uncles and the siblings.
Facts.
Make sure they're of age to hear these two stupid idiots talk about sports.
We
and
didn't say
stupid
anything
stuff.
too bad this episode.
This episode, we kept it PG, but other weeks, we all know how that runs. So we thank you for joining us. Shout out to the squeaky chair. And then, as always, we will see you next week. Peace.
Talking tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know. Jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.